Why, hello everybody, it is Kyle here from Unboxed Autos, and I'm really excited today to show you guys the 2021 Bentley Bentayga. Now in this review of the 2021 Bentayga, we're going to actually go ahead and talk about the exterior of the vehicle, some of the options on this car. And then obviously we're going to go ahead and check out the interior, take a look at the design, technology, and then lastly, we're also going to go ahead and take it for a little road test and tell you about how it drives. Now, this is the V8 Bentayga. There are two others available for 2021. There will be a hybrid variant, which will be operating on a 6-cylinder engine, obviously with battery technology. And then there'll also be a speed version, which has their legendary 12-cylinder engine in it. But obviously, you know, with the twin-turbo V8, which this car has here today, which we will obviously dive more into as far as specs goes later, plenty of power. In fact, way too much power than we actually need, but that is a fantastic thing. Now, obviously, for those of you who don't know, Bentley and Rolls-Royce, as a matter of fact, are actually started out as racing brands, right? They were race cars. They have a lot of racing heritage, so it's obviously important for Bentley as the brand to make cars that live up to that heritage and that DNA, and a lot of that is seen here today in the Bentayga. Now, it actually starts at $177,000. As shown today, we're looking at about $248,000. One of those options that add a little over $12,000 to the cost is actually this 3-coat white pearlescent Mulliner paint that we have here. And it's obviously not super easy to get across on camera, but it's a very beautiful paint color. It's a beautiful white pearlescent that we have here today. And it's also cool to think about how much work and time goes into building this vehicle across the pond, and the 3-coat finish that is obviously takes a lot of time and expertise to complete. It's a beautiful paint color, and it really does look different in the sun, and with how much sparkle it has on it, how shiny it is. Very unique paint color. Now, right here, we actually have the winter wheels on it. So normally we'd be looking at the 22-inch wheels. Right now, these are 19-inch wheels with all-season tires instead of the summer slicks, again, with the 22-inch wheels. That is something, you know, for the weather here in Metro DC area. It's pretty cold right now. Potentially, you know, get some snow or something like that, especially if you travel up north a bit. So, a fully new front and rear design of the Bentayga. We're going to go ahead and talk about that. So, we're following the new DNA of the Bentley brand with these beautiful, I mean, look at these headlamps. They are absolutely gorgeous. They basically look like jewelry, honestly, especially if we can go get in there real close. I mean, they speak for themselves. They are beautiful headlamps. LED, obviously, but look at this, the intricate detail within the headlamp. It is really something special, and this is obviously, as I was saying, this is an update on the new Bentayga that we have here today. The grille is a little more upright, gives it a little more of a muscular look, muscular design. This is obviously focused on luxury, this Bentayga, versus some other models which focus more on speed and agility as far as the exterior styling goes. We have this right here, this chrome piece, which sort of signifies the Bentley brand. Right here we have sort of a big B, as you can see from the outline of it. It kind of looks like a large B if you can kind of envision that from the side there. It looks really neat. We have the V8 logo on both the driver's and passenger side right there. From a side profile, get that there. Say it's a pretty sporty looking car. I love the rear deck as we come around here. Nice muscular side panel, as you guys can see right here, how this line scoops up from the rear and then gives it a nice muscular look right there. Now, I'd say the biggest update as far as design, in my opinion, to this car would be the rear end here. Fully updated, new tail lamps, looks so much better than the previous model. We have the updated rear tail lamps, again, with that beautiful sort of jeweled-like finish. Obviously, all LED. Very, very, very elegant. Of course, we have dual chrome-tipped exhaust as well, which is just letting you know that there's a lot of power under the hood. It sounds amazing too, especially in sport mode when it really opens up. It just sounds absolutely phenomenal. We'll have to definitely let you guys hear that later on. So yeah, I mean, it is a very nice update for Bentley and for the brand, the 2021 Bentayga. There it is. Beautiful car, beautiful car. As you guys can even kind of see it from this angle, the paint even looks a little bit different. Again, it's that tri-coat. Really just looks magnificent in the sun. So as far as what's under this hood here, beyond the grille, is a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine. It is making a stunning 542 horsepower and 568 pound-foot of torque, which is obviously incredible. Can do 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds with a 180 mile per hour top speed. Fun little unique thing, these windshield wipers actually have 22 heated jets in them. So when you spray the windshield, not only do you not get any spray on the side of the car, the window, or the side panels, but it goes with all those jets directly right onto the windshield. Very little spray, and obviously they're heated as well. So if it's cold outside or in the winter time, there's some snow or ice buildup, it takes care of that. So that is obviously a neat thing. So now we're going to go ahead, check out the interior, talk about some stuff that's going on in here. I'm going to go ahead, turn off the lights. Had those on so you guys could see. But now we're going to go ahead and talk about the name for Bentley Audio System. Now, Name is a English company. They do stereo systems, mostly in studio work, things of that nature. And they partnered with Bentley a while ago, and they make some of the most powerful in-car audio systems that you can get today. Now, it varies depending on which Bentley we're in, but for the Bentayga here, the optional Name system is 1,780 watts via 20 speakers with a bass, which is, naturally we have one under the driver's and passenger seat. So that is very important, obviously, so that we can get a lot of heavy-duty bass. I love to listen to it in hi-fi with Tidal, so we can get the full clarity. The surround sound that these speakers give is simply stunning. It's simply stunning. And it doesn't look like, a lot. It's hard to even see all the 20 speakers, obviously, because they're varied under different panels throughout the vehicle. But just the amount of clarity and 3D submersiveness that you get with this audio system is absolutely incredible. Now, the Bentayga actually makes up 45% of global sales for Bentley in 2019, which is very impressive. It is a very important vehicle for the brand, and it's not surprising because it's a very utilitarian focused, but also very luxurious, and they also made it, mildly affordable compared to some other Bentley models. Now, obviously, when you think Bentley, the first thing that comes to mind is luxurious. Luxury, opulence, expensive, and hopefully fast. Now, what we're going to go ahead now is we're going to go ahead and step onto the interior and talk about it. Beyond the technology, beyond the infotainment system, what we're really looking at here is a craftsmanship and quality that is unlike anything else really available on the market today, perhaps other than, something else that's hand-built like Rolls-Royce. But, what we're looking at here is a handcrafted vehicle. And again, this is what's more important than the technology, the look, the design. The key aspect of this car and the Bentley brand is what we're looking at is a handmade car that's fully customizable for whatever you want. And in addition to, obviously, the handcrafted interior and how customizable it is, we're also looking at, incredibly dynamic vehicle. And that's what having a Bentley and driving a Bentley should be about. And again, it's the driving experience paired with the luxury of it. And it's not really about the price tag. How much it costs is really irrelevant. What you should be focused on is your vehicle, how you want it to look, and what you want to be. And that is why Bentley exists. That's why brands like Rolls-Royce exist as well. It is a statement of the car you want to own, right? You don't buy a car because you like this particular, feature, right? What I'm trying to get at is if you buy a Mercedes-Benz, obviously, you go in there, you pick some options you like, and that's the car you get, right? But with the Bentley, you go in, you sit down, you talk with them, and you build the car you want, right? So, key difference. And again, that's what makes Bentley so different from other brands. And that is, again, it is a handcrafted vehicle, complete to your specification. Now, obviously, we have a beautiful spec here today. We have this incredible saddle interior leather color mixed with this very, very, very light purple. The contrast of colors here is phenomenal. Even just checking out this steering wheel here, I think you guys will agree with me that this is probably one of the most just luxurious and scrumptious steering wheels ever made. I want to do that over. I think you guys will agree with me when I say that this steering wheel is one of the coolest looking that you've probably ever seen. I mean, just the design on this thing is incredible. It's a very thick steering wheel, right? Easy to grab onto, many different places to put your hand, right? So if you perhaps are on the highway and you just want to relax a little bit, although I suggest obviously 10 and 2 at all times, but hey, we don't always do that. So plenty of places to grab onto it in different areas here. I mean, the steering wheel, just let me tell you guys, when you sit in this seat and you grab onto this wheel, it's the connection of driver to car like no other. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, the Bentley logo, the famous Bentley logo right there, the flying bee, center there, beautiful chrome, black. Now let's go ahead and start it up. The auto start off button, very important to have. We have 4 different drive modes. We have the sport mode, Bentley mode, comfort mode, and custom. Bentley mode is sort of a dynamic mode. I can kind of adjust between some of the different dynamic settings that we have, as well as the comfort settings depending on your driving habits. So it's sort of an automatic switching. We have a quick button if we want to turn off traction control right there. It is done in plastic. We do have a few little things on the inside which could have been, I would like to say, executed a little bit differently. Perhaps if we didn't even have these buttons here, it would look cooler. We do also have hill descent control. Surprisingly enough, obviously, it's an SUV, and it has adjustable air suspension. So if you want to do some off-roading, we can pop this guy up, and we can do some pretty decent things off-road with some good ground clearance that we have going on here. I'll get to this in a minute, but we're looking at the 10.9-inch updated infotainment system. We also have a fully digital gauge cluster now. I like this one not as much as the one that's in the Flying Spur. It's a little cooler looking, and this one's a little more simple. But it is neat how, as you guys can see there, too, it's sort of a 3D, it's perhaps a little bit hard to see. It's sort of a 3-dimensional look, and as you rev the engine, it's neat how we have these little tiny, sort of almost like piano keys that look like piano keys there that you can see kind of light up and simmer down as you lower the speed and RPMs, depending obviously on how fast you're going and accelerating. So that is a neat touch to the display. I do also, though, appreciate its simplicity. They didn't try and do too many things to make it complicated. It's very simple and sleek. Now, with that said, obviously we do have several different views. So we can view the trip and total mileage on the car by doing that button. We also have Bluetooth capabilities. We can listen to the device that's connected via Bluetooth and what songs that are playing. We also obviously have the phone information. We have navigation. We can pop that up there as well. And then simple car information, short-term memory, long-term. The cruise control, the adaptive cruise control. Traffic sign recognition will also tell us the speed. If it's 45, 55 miles per hour speed limit, it will let us know there. Coming over here though to the side door panel, we have just beautiful, obviously very soft leather, very plush, hand-stitched door panels, black piano trim with chrome accenting on it. I think that everyone will agree this is an absolutely incredible looking car, and it's again, the quality when you touch everything is next to pretty much nothing. It's unsurpassed in terms of quality and feel. It's absolutely phenomenal. Metal door handle. Again, even pulling on the door handles, just the amount of effort that it takes to pull, just really makes it feel very high quality, like somebody just spent a lot of time, figuring out how that door handle should feel and open. We have the window controls here, obviously all one touch down for all four if you want. We also have the sunshade in the rear, so I will go ahead and show that to you. As you guys can see, the sunshade is up right now, but if we want to lower the sunshade, all we have to do is press the button, and it will go ahead and do that, or not do that. Okay. Okay. Now we also have rear sunshades. So for instance, if I pull up on this one, you guys can see there, automatic goes right up, not a problem. And then one touch down again, and the sunshade is lowered. We have night vision control right here, so at nighttime it can detect pedestrians on the road. We have our fog lamps, we have our blind spot detection here, which as you can see, that's what it looks like when there's a car in the blind spot. It lights up like that. We have our heads-up display brightness right there, and then obviously our brightness here as well for the instrument cluster. Air vent here. Once again, love the feel. Very crisp, very smooth feel. Even the bezel around here is beautiful. A nice metal bezel. Going with the very classic Bentley and Rolls-Royce interior elements, we have the air vent control. So you push that to close off the air. There's no more air flowing. If you want the airflow, you pull it out. Once again, the entire dash here is done in a beautiful leather. Nice accent stitching, heads-up display panel right there. All of the stereo equipment, as you can see, large speakers even up here in the windows, they're right there. Once again, we have this legendary steering wheel, which is, I believe, I am not exaggerating when I say that this is my favorite steering wheel in any car. It's simple and elegant is what I love about it, and just the feel of it, and the two-tone here that we can get, it's magnificent. Coming over here, we do see a plastic piece here, kind of sticks out. Not a fan. I think they should do some updates to this right here as far as that goes, especially since it's next to this beautiful, beautiful Bentley clock. I mean, this is obviously a key element to any Bentley interior. They're sort of famous for these clocks, and this looks phenomenal. Just checking this thing out, you can basically sit in here and just kind of enjoy the look of everything. It's more of an art piece, right? More of an art feel on the inside than it is even a car, which is something I love about it. Once again, here we have the piano black finish, another air vent for the passenger, and if you notice how it's sort of the entire dashboard here is sort of incorporated into this purple area here, and then the other part here that the driver is more near is more done in this saddle color. So you can see that looks pretty cool. The contrast right here, we have sort of these three different tiers here. We have the purple, we have the piano black, and then we have the saddle color. So I think it looks really neat, especially these circular sort of curves right here, right? So if you check out this really neat curve that goes to the right here, it's just a really neat angle and looks cool. So now we're going to go ahead basically and talk about the infotainment system here. It's been fully updated for this generation It's a good infotainment system. Obviously, you know, we have HD radio. We have all of our climate settings that were actually done right here. So for instance, heated seat, we pull up that button. We can turn that off right there. I do find it a little odd we have to press, you know, a couple different buttons to get to that. It would be nice just to have a singular heated seat control button. But, you know, it is what it is. Not complaining first world problems to the max right there. We can get, it is connected, so we can also have, you know, the ability to get different data, weather data, news data, etc. from it. Responsiveness is good. We can control the premium name sound system here. So we have, as you guys can see, different focuses and different sound profiles as well that we can go ahead and get when we're listening to the radio. We also can adjust, you know, the simple things like that. I pretty much keep everything at 0. I think it's, you know, it's already been made in the studio, right, from the factory to kind of how they want it. But if you want to change a few things, you have the ability to do that as well. And as far as fun, cool little notations about the media system, if you notice here, background is purple. Now, that's also because I have set the interior mood lighting to purple. Now, if I go here into car, I go into the lighting section, I go into the mood lighting, I change it to, let's say, green, then the background also changes to green. So just a fun, cool little tidbit of information there. Love the dark purple mood lighting, so I like to keep it on that. You can adjust the brightness in different areas. For instance, as you can see the footwells, you can turn that on or off. I, of course, like to keep that on at all times. The navigation system is a bit dated. I feel like it could be integrated a little bit better with some of the instructions. It's just not always quite clear what you should be doing, especially on this screen when you're in a route. I think they need to simplify the system a little bit. It kind of tells you your upcoming turns right here, but it also tells you, rest stops, gas stations, which is helpful, but it needs to be more specific as to what upcoming turns and things you have going on. Now, again, you can get the information on the heads-up display and within here, right here, like I was saying. But again, it could use some additional clarification, which would be helpful. But it is easy to find destinations, which is helpful, especially because it is also aided with Google. So we can also just do a Google search with that button, so we can get the search powered by Google. Very helpful. You can pretty much find, obviously, anything that you could find on your smartphone right from there, which sometimes is a problem on manufacturer navigation systems. It's hard to find the right destination, especially if it's a newer place or it's been updated recently. But with the powered by Google option, that's no longer an issue. So that is great. This is the home screen. So obviously, when we have our phone connected, it shows that right here, as well as the media that we're playing, which is great. And moving down, though, we have the Sirius XM radio. Okay, so we have that capability. Obviously, again, we also have HD FM radio there as well, which is great. And then if we want to play something from our Bluetooth device, that's right here. Phone, making any calls or anything like that, we do that one. And then again, back down to navigation. Pretty, great responsiveness. So that's always important. So, the system is good, and it's definitely been updated. We also have wireless Android and Apple CarPlay, hugely important. So, frankly, most of you guys will be using that anyway. So there you go right there. You can connect very easily just with a click of a button. So that's great. And then moving down here, we have the phone. We have some, obviously designated buttons here if we want to quickly move on. But checking out these buttons here and these controls for the audio and things like that, as you guys can see, they are done in this nice metal finish here, again with the piano black look. And how they turn, how they feel, very good, very high end, and just really do love that. Gotta love that. So fantastic buttons, really like them. We have here obviously our climate control settings. They're all right here, easy to read and see, which is great. We have heated and cooled seats. We can adjust the fan speed or just keep it on auto, which is what I do. We can sync both the driver and passenger to be the same temperature there, like that. Very easy. Once again, we have this nice saddle stitching in here along with the very deep purple. And then coming over here into the center, we have the Bentley shifter. Now, in order to put this guy into drive, you actually press down on the B, which is cool, and put it into drive. Obviously, park, you press the button, and then you also can see within here where you're at. Now, there's also a manual shifting mode, so you'd actually put it into drive, and then go back again, and then you can use these paddle shifters right here, and it indicates obviously M1 is manual 1, so you can know what gear you're in. And then back, obviously, to park. We also have the ability for the car to park itself, so we actually press this button right here, and then the car will actually sense different spots as you move along. So you just engage like that, and then you can see the different spots. You tell it which type you're looking to get into, and then it will assist you with that. So that's pretty neat. We have the distance control here, so when we're going into perhaps a tight spot, we have that. We also have the 3D bird's eye view. We have the backup camera, the front side, and then the rear there, the rear side. So sort of a wider rear view there as well. So that is helpful. Obviously, you don't want to hit anybody or anything. We also have the auto brake hold. So you press this button. If we're in a lot of stop and go traffic, it can be nice. So when you press the brake in, it will actually hold it down for you, so you don't have to. And here we are back at the center. Obviously, push to start is this really cool piano black button right here. We just press that down. Again, bezeling, very nice metal bezels around the selection here. So for sport, Bentley, comfort, right? Very nifty, very nice. Again, love the auto stop start off button. Keep that guy off pretty much all the time. Even though it does a good job at making a very smooth transition, do not like that feature. We do have the wireless charging, right? So I have a phone right here. I can just stick it right there, and there it goes, charging right now. So that is pretty much all we have for the front here of the interior. Beautiful car. If you guys have any questions, obviously, let me know. And but we're also going to go ahead and check out the rear of the vehicle, because we have some pretty cool stuff happening back there as well. Obviously, we have soft closed doors, and there you go. Coming into the back here, we have lots of room, very spacious, very comfortable back here. And it's also stadium seating, so we sit up just a little bit higher than the front passengers do. So that's nice. We have added leg room for 2021, but oh my gosh, I have the seat right where I would normally have it in the back. There's so much room back here. It's phenomenal road trip car. Would absolutely love to go on a road trip in this guy. Very, very comfortable. One thing I did forget to note earlier is that the entire ceiling is also done in leather. It looks really, really nifty. You tap those, turn them on, and we have the skylight, as I like to call them here. The ceiling, very nice. A nifty feature right here for the rear passengers is this guy right here. It's our own little tablet that we get to use and control things. So, for instance, we can control climate settings from back here for the rear passengers. I mean, look at that. How cool is this? We can do our seats from back here. The blinds, if we want to move them, we can do that. But even look at the graphics. Look how cool that is, guys. Love it. We can adjust the mood lighting from here and the different colors, right? Like that. Very simple, very easy. So, nifty thing indeed. And then we also can check out current speed, so we can tell the driver he's driving too fast. Check out the time, outside temperature, and things of that nature, right? So very cool little device here. This is also in the flying spur as well. Go ahead and stick this guy back in his holder. It's magnetic, so easily slips right back in there. We also have rear air vent controls right here, obviously. Okay. And yeah, I mean, talk about comfortable. This is it, guys. A couple of cup holders in the center here. But yeah, I mean, the 2021 Bentley Bentayga is, really about usability as well, craftsmanship. And it makes sense as to why this car sells so well, and that's because it's incredibly practical, right? We can go ahead. I mean, there's tons of space in the trunk here. Everyone is doing, these large SUV or mid-sized to large SUVs now, and Bentley's doing it. Rolls-Royce is doing it. Lamborghini's doing it, and it makes sense because people want a car that can meet all of their needs in one, and that's what the Bentayga does. It's incredibly fast, incredibly sporty. Still get that craftsmanship that we love on a Bentley, and also get all of the practical features that we get with an SUV right here. So, with all that said, we're going to go ahead now and take you guys for a spin in the Bentayga, let you know how it drives.